Rock and Roll Geek Show 1394.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA. Online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. It is 12:47 p.m. when I'm recording this episode. I'm up here in the mountains, and I apologize for not doing a show last week. I will explain why in a bit. First, let me open up the first beer of the day. This is provided to me by a friend of the show, JB Skulls, who has a mystery job that I saw him last week in Denver, Colorado, which will be part of my explanation. This is called HOWDY Beer, Western Pilsner from Denver, Colorado. Let's see where it's brewed in. Brewed in Denver, Colorado. This is a Western Pilsner, and the alcohol content is, I can't find it. I'm going to guess it's about 4.5%. Perfect. That's my favorite alcohol content. I'm going to open up the first one of the day. This beer is really good, by the way. Thank you, JB Skulls, for bringing this to me. He gave me a case of it when I saw him, which I will talk about after we play a song. But first, let me take a sip of this fine boy, not boy howdy, just howdy beer. And it says on the side, do no harm and take no guff. Howdy Beer. The Post Brewing Company. It's got a horseshoe on it. Take a first sip of the Howdy Beer of the day. Oh, that's good. Whew. Best one. All right, before we talk about all that, we will play a song. This was sent to me by a promotion company, Airbourne, the band Airbourne. Their first new music in 6 years. Now, Airbourne, the Rock and Roll Geek Show, I don't know if you've ever heard of Airbourne. They're one of the long line of bands influenced by AC/DC, but this band fucking kicks ass. I was the first one in the United States to ever talk about Airbourne or play Airbourne. I went to South by Southwest a long time ago. This must have been 15 years ago, a long time ago, when I had just started doing a podcast. Maybe I had been doing it a couple of years. I went to South by Southwest to hang out with my friend Jasper Borgman from Good Clean Fun. And we were standing in the lobby of wherever the convention center is that the South by Southwest in Austin was. And a guy walked up, and I was chatting with, I don't know, Jasper and his friend or whoever was around me. And a guy walked up to me and goes, "Excuse me, is your name Michael Butler?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm the manager of Airbourne." And Airbourne was playing South by Southwest. And I couldn't believe this guy recognized me by my voice. I had them on the show when they were on Capitol Records. They were signed to Capitol, and then Capitol dropped them before the record came out. I believe that's how it worked out. And I had the Capitol pre-release of their first album. That first album is so badass. I've had them on the show probably 2 or 3 times, and they played at the Regency Ballroom in San Francisco, and I brought them all packs of socks. I figure, when you're on tour, clean socks is a good thing to have. Good guys. I've seen them a few times. I saw them open for Kid Rock at the Fillmore in San Francisco. Saw them a few times at South by Southwest. They were playing this small little backyard thing, and it was just a bunch of record label guys, and I don't know, it was all these indie rock bands. And then Airbourne came up with stacks of Marshalls, and they fucking blew the doors off the place. And these record executives didn't know what the hell was going. They floored these guys. And since then, I've been a huge fan of Airbourne. I've seen them many times. And I am taking credit for making them semi-popular in the United States. Well, a new song came down from them from Freeman Productions and from Spine Farm Records. Airbourne proudly show, I'm going to read it here. Airbourne proudly show their colors with new do-or-die anthem, Gusty. Take 2, Butler. Did I mention I'm in the Podcast Hall of Fame? Yeah. Airbourne proudly show their colors with the new It's not the Reading Hall of Fame, it's the Podcast Hall of Fame, friends. Proudly show their colors with new Do or Die anthem, Gutsy. Their first new music in 6 years, appearing at Download Festival next weekend. Today, the mighty Airbourne are back with Gutsy, their first new song in 6 years. Bristling with attitude and intent, this is Airbourne on steroids. Fired up and pissed off, ready to take on the world. Get gutsy. I die hard. You can't stop me once I start. For frontman and lead guitarist Joel O'Keefe, that guy's fucking works his ass off on stage, man. Frontman and lead guitarist Joel O'Keefe, his brother Ryan on drums, longtime bassist Justin Street, and recent recruit Brett Tyrrell on rhythm guitar, Gutsy powerfully underlines everything they stand for. A blood and sweat commitment to the rock and roll cause, and a burning desire to honor the true heroes of the genre. More than... Oh, I'm not going to take a sip of... It's wearing me out here. Hold on. More than just a title. Gutsy is a declaration, a worldview, a line drawn deep in the sand. It's how you live, it's how you die. Frontman lead guitarist Joel O'Keefe shares, when the odds are stacked against you. Oh, by the way, this band is from Australia. When the odds are stacked against you and the battle you're fighting seems impossible to win, when the vultures are circling and the last chance saloon has firmly bolted its doors, when your plane is hitting the runway on a single engine and that engine's on fire, and when things you hold as precious, the things that define you, are being tested at every turn, then the choices available become a lot clearer. Fold or fight. Call for help or cry for glory. Give in or get gutsy! All right. Let me continue reading here. Produced by Brian Howe, who worked with the band on 2013's Black Dog Barking, engineered by Canadian studio legend Mike Fraser, who did AC/DC, Aerosmith, Rush, Metallica, and mixed by Zach Gervini, who did Machine Gun Kelly. Gutsy marked the first new music from Australian outfit since 2019's Bone Shaker. From the first ringing guitar chord, and it's no coincidence, it sounds like a bell. Gutsy makes zero apologies. It'd just be a lot cooler if I read it properly. I apologize, Airbourne. From the first ringing guitar chord, and it's no coincidence, it sounds like a bell. Gutsy makes zero apologies for being big, bold, and bombastic. It's a layered, fully cranked take on signature Airbourne sonics and packs enough low-end punch to work as a defibrillator in moments of crisis. For Joel and Ryan, voracious students of hard rock, like mythology, the sacred rites, Gutsy stands tall, shoulders back and chest out. It's a potent call to arms, a rally cry for fans and band alike. All right, enough of this reading. They're playing June 6th at Rock Am Ring. They're playing June 10th, clubs. They already played that. 13th, Nova Rock. 15th, Download, which was 2 days ago. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they're playing Hellfest. June 23rd, see it in Nice. All right, they're playing a bunch of places in Europe, okay? Brand new, Airbourne. This song is called Gutsy. Fucking badass. I don't care how much it sounds like AC/DC. It fucking rules, man. I haven't even heard this yet. That's fucking great.
Get gutsy, I die hard. You can't stop me once I start, 'cause I'm fired up, I'm pissed off. Here I come, ready or die.
There you go. Brand new Airbourne. Engineered by Mike Frazier. That should tell who did AC/DC and Aerosmith. So that should tell you something about how good Airbourne is. If the guy who does the AC/DC albums engineers them. That band is badass, man. If you ever get a chance to see them live, I've not seen a harder working band on stage other than maybe your friend Michael Butler. These guys are drenched when they get off stage. They sent me a whole bunch of shit. They sent me a rare hoodie, an Airbourne hoodie, a bunch of the Capitol CD, a bunch of different stickers. I still got a bunch of those Airbourne stickers. That is a great band. Joel O'Keefe, ripping guitar player, great performer, and screaming. You heard him sing. The guy's fucking. I don't know how he can finish a set singing like that, but he does. I'm glad to see Airbourne back, and I hope they have much success. All right. I was out of town last week. I was doing some country gigs. I played with the guy I'm playing with, Chad Bushnell, who I'm going to have on the Rock and Roll Geek Show pretty soon. He asked me if he'd come on the show, and are you kidding me, man? I didn't think you'd want to come on because you're a country guy. We played at this place. We went to Denver, Colorado. We had a 5-night stand at this place called the Grizzly Rose. I think I did a show like a day before I left. I think the last one I did was the Rick Derringer Rest in Peace episode, or Does It Hold Up from Derringer Live. And we got into a pickup truck and pulled a trailer all the way to Denver from where Chad lives in Anderson, California. He's originally from Red Bluff, California. One time we played at a state fair. I got to tell you, man, I'm fucking loving playing this country music. I'm sorry, I'm fucking loving it. We played at this, may have already talked about this. If I did, I apologize, but I'm going to say it again. We played at the state fair in Red Bluff, or county fair in Red Bluff, California. And I got there early, and his dad lives right down the street, his mom and dad. His mom manages him. And he called me up and said, "Hey, my dad's, who is also a country music guitar player. Both these guys shoe horses for a living. These guys are the real deals." He says, "My dad is playing his country guy. He and some country music musician friends are playing in his backyard. They're having a party before the fair, and they're just jamming country tunes. If you want to come hang out and drink some beer before we load in." So I went, and there were a bunch of country music people just sitting around in their lawn chairs, and this band was set up by the garage, and you're just playing old country standards. And Chad goes, "All right, we're going to get up there and play." And I go, "What?" And this old man, one of the guys who was playing with Chad's dad, was going to sing, and they just started rattling off country tunes, and I'd never heard any of these damn songs. And he said, "Just follow along." So I said, "All right, I'll do my best, but I might screw up." I didn't say that. I kind of just played it cool, because I wanted to seem like I was part of I was a good musician. And I just started following along and started doing some standard country licks that I've learned on bass. And I'll be damned if I didn't pull the damn thing off. And it was so much fun. I felt like an actual professional musician sitting up there with these old timers who are like world-class players. In addition to Chad, who's a world-class player, and he's younger than my daughter. I'm telling you, this guy's a talent. Writes great songs. He writes with hit makers in Nashville. Anyway, that's besides the point. I had such a great time. Anyway, so he had a 5-night stand at this place in Denver, Colorado called the Gypsy. What is it? No, the Grizzly Rose. Grizzly Rose, like a grizzly bear. Supposedly this is an iconic country venue in Denver. We were scheduled to play Wednesday through Sunday, June 5th through 9th, whatever. It was the Wednesday through Sunday of that week. It was a 2-day drive to get there. We got in his pickup truck and pulled a trailer. I'd never pulled a trailer. He says, "Hey, do you know how to pull a trailer?" I said, "Sure, I do." Sure. I didn't know. I YouTubed how to pull a trailer. So we all shared driving duties and pulled this trailer full of gear, 2 days to Denver, and they put us up in a band house. We played 5 sets a night. Well, the first night, Wednesday night, we played 3 sets. the place holds 2,000 people. I had no idea how many people to expect at this place. So we get there. We set up, we do a sound check, we load in at 3 o'clock, and we do a sound check, and then we got to be back at 6 is when the doors open. And I get there at 6 o'clock, and the place is already packed. Full of old people. Apparently Wednesday is like the slowest night. They give free line dancing lessons. And so there was that. We played 3 sets on Wednesday night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we played 5 sets, 5 1-hour sets. I haven't played 5 sets in my entire life, man. Thursday was ladies' night. Let me take a sip of this fine HOWDY beer. Ah, that's good. Thursday was ladies' night. Ladies drink free. It's like $20 to get in, and it's all you can drink. This place was wall-to-wall women. There might have been, I'm going to say it was 95% women. It was insane. I have never seen anything like this. The dance floor was packed the whole time. It's different for playing country. I probably said this before too, but when you're playing with Manitoba or whoever, people crowd to the front. They got their fists in the air. It's more like a concert vibe, which I really like. Country music, totally different. They get out there and they line dance, which is something I have never experienced in my life. And this floor was packed with line dancers on Thursday night. Women getting drunk all night. By the time this thing was done, these women were plastered, man, and they were all, the uniform for country women, shorts, especially summertime, shorts and cowboy boots. Almost every girl, shorts and cowboy boots, or short sundresses and cowboy boots. There was this one chick, sorry for saying chick if I I'm seeming sexist. Was this one girl was wearing a short sundress, and this cowboy guy was carrying her on his shoulders, and he dropped his cowboy hat, and he went to pick it up with her still on his shoulders. Her little sundress pulled up over her waist. She was not wearing underwear. It was full vagina in full view of everybody. And I mean, you could have, I saw everything. I was full on vagina. Anyway, it was quite the scene. On Thursday night, friend of the show, Ken Grossman, shows up. Rock and Roll Geek Show, friend of the show, Ken Grossman was there on Thursday night. Ask him, he'll tell you. Then Friday night, was it Friday? No. Friday night, I don't think anybody showed up. Well, the place was packed. It was probably the least crowded of all the nights, Friday. Then Saturday night, friend of the show, JB Skulls, shows up. Brought me a case of this fine HOWDY beer, which I'm taking another sip of now. Fuck it. Why don't I just let JB Skulls tell you about it, all right?
Michael Butler. This is JB from Colorado, formerly JB from Dallas, formerly JB from Las Vegas. JS Skulls on the Facebook page.
Oh, did I say JB Skulls? JS Skulls. I apologize.
Don't ask.
Yes. I found out what he does for a living, and boy, let me tell you, it's more interesting than I could have ever imagined. It's top secret. He's not allowed to tell anybody. He told me, and it was fucking crazy. I can't believe this caliber of person listens to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Thank you, JS Skulls.
Of course, that's the Facebook page that you did not create.
That's right.
But you and the sheriff can approve friend requests to make sure that, nobody gets on there and falsely accuse you of being at Epstein Island or in the Epstein files.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
You know the routine.
Exactly.
Hey, Michael, hope you're doing well.
I'm super great. Couldn't be better.
That's good. Good to hear. I am calling in with a show review.
I'm sorry. That shit never gets old to me.
Of country music artist Chad Bushnell.
Oh, good. Chad Bushnell.
In Denver, Colorado, at a place called the Grizzly Rose.
You think I was exaggerating, friends? See if JS Skulls has a differing opinion.
Tonkin Dance Hall. Now, I had never heard of Chad Bushnell. I don't know if I'm even saying that name right. I think it's Bushnell.
It is Bushnell, and I call him Bushnell. When I introduce him on the stage, sometimes I'll say, Chad Bushnell, and he gives me a look like, you're mispronouncing my name, you dipshit. Oh, back to you, JS.
I like some, but not all country music. But I'd heard a recommendation of this guy's music on some podcast. I can't remember which one, but anyway, so I saw he was going to be playing in Denver, so I thought, well, I'll take the recommendation and I'll go check it out. First, let me describe this place, the Grizzly Rose, for any friends listening to the show.
I never see. Well, the Butlers' very first gig, or the second gig the Butlers ever played, was a place in Fremont, California called, what the hell was that place called? Saddle Rack. It was similar to the Grizzly Rose, but I think the Grizzly Rose is like way bigger than the Saddle Rack.
Living in Colorado, I had heard of it, but I had never been. I knew it was some sort of venue that had a lot of country music artists, but I had no idea what it was like inside. I heard it's been around since like 1989 or like that, something like that. So it's a kind of a famous in the Denver area. But when I got up there, this Chad Bushnell guy was playing like 4 nights.
5 nights.
I went up on a Saturday night, kind of a last minute decision. I just went on my own. And when I walked into the place, I was shocked at how big it is. You had like a small cover charge to get in. But I get in there and there's like a huge dance floor. There's a nice sized stage. Chad and his band were already playing when I walked in. From what I understand, they were going to play like 5 sets a night or something like that. A huge rectangular bar. There was a mechanical bull, like a area where you could like practice lassoing calves or whatever.
This place was fucking crazy, man. It was awesome. So I don't know. It's all right. I'm gonna shut up.
Lots of tables for drinking. There was photos all over the wall of this place, like autographed photos of the artists who have played there before. For the most part, almost all of them were country music artists from the last.
I think Vince Neil played there.
Probably since 1989. But I did see one for Diamond David Lee Roth had played there at one point. There. He had a autographed photo on the wall. Also, and maybe most important, that the crowd there was what we used to call the target-rich environment.
Target rich.
Let me tell you something.
What does that mean?
Any friends of the show, young, single, and maybe if you're younger,
chicks,
go find yourself a local country music honky tonk, because the number of hot women at this place.
I am not shitting you, man. The number of hot women was out of this world.
Impressive, let's just say. Better than any sausage fest and some other.
Please. We're playing this country cruising thing in October, late October. I'll tell you, I'd much rather be playing a country cruise than a Monsters of Rock cruise. For obvious reasons. It's the same reason I'd rather be playing a Rick Springfield cruise than a Monsters of Rock cruise.
Sports bar. So anyway, word to the wise. If you're on the hunt, find yourself a place like this. It reminded me a lot of Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, Texas, for anybody who's ever been there. I used to live in Texas.
Is that where they filmed Urban Cowboy? It's a similar place to that.
And I had been to that one. Actually saw Social Distortion there, of all bands. Billy Bob's is much bigger and I'd say a little bit nicer. But Billy Bob's, I think, is the biggest in the world, biggest honky tonk in the world. So this place, I would say, overall, was impressive. I will say this: there was even one point when I started watching Chad and his band play, I actually got distracted because like 4 or 5, there was like bachelorette parties there and stuff.
Oh, so yeah, that's right. On ladies' night, there were bachelorette parties. There were like 2 or 3 bachelorette, maybe 3 or 4. Girls that had these things on that looked like Miss Universe, whatever. There's not tassels, but some kind of You know what I'm talking about. And it said bride to be.
4 or 5 really hot girls went to ride the mechanical bull, and I'll be honest, I got sidetracked by that, and I went to go watch that. That was entertaining. But prior to going to the stage, I went to the bar, grabbed myself a Shinerbach, and I found a place near the stage where I could check out Chad Bushnell and his band without being too interrupted by the crowd. A large crowd, by the way. The whole place was packed.
Yeah, fucking packed.
Chad looked like what you would call a typical country music artist: cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and probably had some Wrangler jeans on. But he played.
You might think he's not the real deal, but the guy he was raised. His dad, his father got a college scholarship, a rodeo scholarship. I don't know what college, but he got a scholarship because he was a rodeo guy. His sister is a professional team roper in rodeo. She also teaches at Cal Poly team roping. Who knew colleges had rodeos? Chad was a roper as well, a rodeo guy, and they shoe horses for a living. So this guy is the real deal.
Guitar, saw him switch back and forth between acoustic and electric. He seemed like a competent guitar player. And
better than competent.
He had like a lead guitar player, which was an older guy. I don't know how old he was. But
Steve Black.
Older, but he was very talented. He had like a Western shirt on and hat. And then he had a drummer also sitting back there with a cowboy hat.
Oh, here we go.
He seemed like a really steady drummer.
Decent drummer.
And then there was this bass player. You know what? We'll come back to him.
Yeah, here we go.
In a minute. As the band played, they played mostly a bunch of like cover tunes, kind of standard country,
some originals.
Tunes. But as they played, the dance floor would just fill. It's kind of weird in a venue like that because the people are there to dance. They're not really facing the band as much or paying attention to the band. And I noticed they didn't even applaud a lot, but that wasn't because they didn't like the band. You could tell they liked the band because of how much they were dancing. They really appreciated the music that the band was playing. And I
don't know if he's going to talk about this, but at one point we played this Steve Earle song called Copperhead Rose. I have never seen a more packed dance floor. And not only the dance floor, on the sides they were all doing this dance to Copperhead Rose. It was like something went off and it said, "Get your ass out there and start dancing." It was crazy.
Like all the line dancing, and I saw some people doing some two-steps and some other country dancing. I've never really seen this in person, I don't think.
Me
like
neither.
I said, I've been to Billy Bob's, but I had been there for concerts before. I had never been there just for a regular country music night. And it was impressive. I don't know how these people remember all these dance moves. But the band, I didn't recognize all the songs that the band played, but I heard a lot of Garth Brooks. I heard some Dwight Yoakam, some Vince Gill, some George Strait. In fact, I even recall they were playing George Strait's album Amarillo by Morning, and I was standing over to the side of the stage where this bass player was. Like I said,
yeah. I'd never played Amarillo by Morning in my entire life. A guy came up there and put like a 50 on the table on the stage and said, "Can you guys play Amarillo Morning?" And Chad came up to me and goes, "Can you play Amarillo Morning?" I said, what's that? And he said, "Just follow me." So I followed him, and I'd be damned if I didn't pull it off.
We're going to discuss him in a minute, but I think there was some sort of issue during that song because I saw the guitar player came over to the bass player, the bass player went over to him or something. I can't remember. And I saw them kind of like one was trying to get on the same page as the other.
Yeah, me.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then they also they played the song Copperhead Road by Steve
here we
Earle,
go. Yes.
If you're familiar with that song, Michael. It was I love that song.
Let me play a little bit of Copperhead Rose real quick. It's more of a rock tune. Let me find the playlist here. Okay, playlist. Okay, Chad. Copperhead Rose. You probably heard this song. It's a great tune. I've heard this one. It's a pretty easy song to play on bass, actually. Let me see. A little Copperhead Rose for you here. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me I got to reconnect. Hold on a second. Okay, bear with me. Hold on. Okay. I mentioned I was in the Podcast Hall of Fame. Yes, I did. I think I did. Okay. Sound. Okay, here we go. It's a good tune. Steve Earle is good. I won't play the whole song. I'll just give you a taste of what Copperhead Rose is.
Well, my name's John Lee Pettimore. Same as my daddy.
Yeah, maybe I'll play this low while he's talking about it. How about that? Let's see if I can do a little bit of production here.
Side note for any friends of the show, if you're not familiar with that song, at minimum, go look up the lyrics. There's some fantastic lyrics to that song. But when they kicked into that song, I almost got startled by the number of people that ran to the dance floor.
I know.
I mean, there was already
fucking crazy.
It made it wall to wall, and they all had these like special moves and chants for that song. It was obviously a crowd favorite. So, good move by Chad and his band to include that in their set. All right.
By the
back
way,
to this bass player.
Right. By the way, hold on, let's pause here for a second. Prior to, I had never rehearsed Copperhead Rose with Chad Bushnell. There were about 15 songs in these 5 sets that we never played as a band live or rehearsed. We never even rehearsed. We played them cold. So before he tells you about his boy Michael Butler never played these songs live before, and the motherfucker pulled it off. All right, back to you. I can't say his name. J.S. Skulls.
So the first thing I notice about this guy, no cowboy boot, no cowboy hat.
That's right. The only one in the band. I did buy some cowboy boots, and I wore them one show at a venue in Chico. And I look back at videos of myself wearing these cowboy boots, and I just said, man, that don't look right. So I went back to Pro-Cats. Fuck it.
Poser.
Uh-huh.
I mean, come on, dude. You're in a country band.
By the way, J.S. Skulls showed up with a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. All right, let me back it up so we can re-emphasize poser.
Back to this bass player. So the first thing I notice about this guy, no cowboy boot, no cowboy hat. Poser.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. You're in a country band. You're standing up there like, I don't know what. Then I noticed this guy's bass was way too low. I mean, he needs to get that thing up on his chest like the way Dave Matthews or John Five plays the guitar. I mean,
I asked Chad, said, do you want me to raise my bass? Because I know it's lower than the rest of you guys. He goes, no, it makes it more rock and roll. It gives a little bit of difference. You're a rock and roll guy. So far, I haven't raised my bass. So, it feels comfortable for me down that low.
It looks silly. Way too loud. Way too loud. The bass was drowning out the whole band.
Right. Was it really?
That was kind of bad.
No, he's lying.
Come on, dude. It's not a rock show.
He's lying to
country music.
He's lying. The bass was not drowning everything out. Was it JS? I think he's bullshitting.
Music. Then, I'm pretty sure that bass player was wearing a wig.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he had this long brunette hair.
Brown.
I mean, it's like country music Paul Stanley.
Yeah. Paul Stanley's got black hair, probably a wig, dyed. Michael Butler is not dyed. It ain't a wig. Get a little thin on top. And it's brown, okay? And it's not gray yet.
Then, a few songs into the set that I'm watching, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Michael, this bass player was playing the backing tracks. Clearly.
Bullshit. Okay, he's lying to you. Come on. I don't play backing tracks, friends. You know that.
Holy smokes, what a fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, this Chad Bushnell, he needs to get a real bass player. He needs to get someone like to the level of Nikki Sixx, like someone who can bring it live.
Exactly. Nikki Sixx, who does not use backing tracks. I hope Chad doesn't hear this.
Not somebody playing to backing tracks. That was unbelievable.
I wouldn't.
But you know,
I
Chad
would
was
not know how to play the backing tracks.
pretty good. So after one of the sets, I walked up to the stage and I just kind of wanted to say hi to Chad and thank him for the show. And I guess this frickin' bass player thought I was coming up to him because he like immediately says, "What, do you want an autograph from me?"
There you go.
And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Did you pay for the VIP meet and greet?"
Exactly.
And I was like, "VIP meet and greet? Aren't you guys like the house band tonight?" And he goes, "Because if not, we don't have time for you."
Yeah, that's the way he is, man. That guy's an asshole.
I was surprised. I looked at him. He goes,
I mean,
"Do you know
come
who
on.
I am?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Have you even heard of Exodus?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "All right." Whatever, dude. So I just tried to ignore him.
Ready to
and I
punch the
offered
guy out. The guy was just rude and arrogant.
to buy a beer for Chad and the rest of the band. And then that crazy bass player, he interrupted again and he said, "What, have you got some crappy Coors or something, or Coors Light for us or something like that?" And then he goes, "You see that little red cooler over there? It's filled with the finest microbrews. IPAs, amber ales, Belgian ales, wheat ales." He was going
Actually, they were Modelo's.
on and on. He goes, "Specialty ingredients and flavor profiles."
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, what the hell is this guy's
I
problem?"
mean, come on.
So I just rolled my
Attitude on this
eyes and I was like,
fucking dork.
whatever. And I said, "You know what, guys? I'm just going to head back to my house." And then that bass player just like starts laughing at me. And I kind of looked at him strange. He goes, "A house?" He goes, "I bet you only have one house, right?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, guess
Ready
what,
to punch that fucker.
motherfucker? I got 5 houses.
Yeah,
And
5.
they're all in California." That's right. Most expensive state in the U.S. What do you think of that?
Yeah, impressed, dude.
And I was just like, I can't deal with this guy anymore. So I
Punch
walked away, Michael, and, you know, it's too bad I didn't have a recording going on at the time because I would send it to you because that would make a great douchebag.
I would have
clip of the
loved to
week.
heard
Like,
that.
This guy, I don't know. Anyway, that's my show review for
I
Chad
appreciate it,
Bushnell.
friend.
Pause for dramatic effect. Obviously, most of the preceding was all fabricated.
Yeah, there you go.
The description of the Grizzly Rose was accurate, and the rest of the band, and obviously that's a made-up story about our hero, Michael Butler. Friends of the show who have not yet had a chance to meet Michael, I can confirm he is awesome dude, extremely friendly. He was super great,
Exactly.
couldn't be better.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the little bit I got to talk to him between sets. I wore my cowboy hat and my boots in his honor, and he kind of made a joke about it. He said, "Well, you already own those things. You didn't just buy those tonight."
No.
And he's right. But,
No.
you know, I used to live in Texas.
He looked like a real cowboy.
I
Probably
actually
due to his job, which I'm not allowed to say.
bought my cowboy hat in the world-famous Luckenbach, Texas. So, I can put on the costume when I need to.
But he's not a poser.
Michael also introduced me to Chad, who and his merch woman, who I forget her name. I apologize. They were both extremely nice. And Chad, he introduced me to Chad, and Chad was saying hi to me, and then I think you guys had all got called away for a photo or something. And I said, "Okay, I'll see you guys, for the next set." And Chad came running back over to me and thanked me again for coming out. So I really appreciate that. He's obviously
Super nice
He seems like
guy.
a humble guy.
He is. Super nice.
Let's see. I provided Mr. Butler a case of HOWDY beer. HOWDY beer is a local beer in Denver, Colorado. It's definitely a blue collar beer.
take a
I
sip
thought
of
it was
this
one that
fine
he would
Howdy.
like. For him to take it
It's really
back
good.
to California, get him a case of that, and
I'm almost
add a
done.
little stick
I'm on my last 6-pack, JS.
it to the man donation in the
Yes,
in the
thank you. He gave me 200 cash.
case. Although, Michael, I don't know if you can. When I brought that back to the backstage area from the backside of the building. Whoever that guy was at the door with you, the security guard, bartender.
Yeah, the bartender came up and said, "You guys aren't allowed to come." And right at that time, JS handed me a case of beer. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He didn't say what the fuck. He's like, looks at me like, "What are you doing? Sneaking beer in the back door?" And I said, "No, he just brought me a gift. I'm going to put it. It's going to be in a box and it's leaving with me. Just bringing me a gift." The bartender was super cool guy, so he didn't have a problem with it.
Seemed really annoyed with me, but anyway. So hopefully you get to keep that beer and all of it. maybe share with the other guys in the band.
We
I bought a little bit of merch from
We drank a 6-pack. On the way back, we stopped at a hotel and we sat around and drank HOWDY beers.
Yeah, just like a little koozie just to support him and help him pay for his expensive bass player.
Yes.
What else? Apologize, Michael, if when we were talking, if I kept saying ha and what. Unfortunately, my hearing is shot, and I don't know if it's from concerts or not, but I still love going to concerts. But when I'm at a concert, if somebody next to me is talking, I have trouble listening. One question I did want to ask you that I didn't get a chance to ask you while I was there. Did you get a chance during your time there to partake in trying the mechanical bull or the lasso or anything? I think that would be fun.
No, I did not. I forgot. I've ridden a mechanical bull before. The thing about mechanical bulls is they'll let you ride that as long as you can. They'll let you stay on there as long as you think you're a badass, and then they can throw you off at any time
if you gave that a shot. Anyway, overall, friends and Michael, great experience. Really enjoyed meeting you. I was hoping at some point to meet you. I almost crossed paths with you in Dallas and in Las Vegas, but my schedule never.
I'm glad you
matched
showed up to this one, JS.
I'm hoping sometime I would never have guessed I would have met you in a honky tonk, a country music honky tonk. But I hope to someday catch you, if it's not with Manitoba or one of your other bands, at some point. Maybe I'd like to see it. I don't think you guys played this part of the country much, so I'm glad I got that opportunity. So anyway. Enjoy your HOWDY beer, yeehaw, and stay frosty.
All right, thank you, Chad Bushnell. You too can leave me a show review or audio comment. Just record it into your phone like he did and email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. So that was Thursday night, ladies' night. Friday we play. Wait a minute. He showed up on ladies' night, and then we played Friday, then Saturday. Sunday was all ages. It was sold out. There was like there were junior high kids. There were little kids. It was mostly like 18, 19-year-olds. It was wall to wall people. I have never seen a bar this crowd. There were 2,000 people wall to wall at this place. It was cool. And on that night, a guy came up to me and goes, hey, he comes up to the stage, him and a girl, and hey, Michael Butler. And I said, hi, how's it going? And he said, I'm and I said, oh, hey, nice to see you. I didn't recognize his name. And he goes, I said, what's your name again? He goes, Nadi Itani. I said, Nadi Itani, friend of the show, Nadi Itani, and his lovely wife, I forget her name, but she was a super nice woman as well, showed up. So it was so great to see Ken Grossman, Nadi Itani, and the great JS Skulls. Thank you, friends, for showing up to support your friend Michael Butler. It felt really good to see you guys, man. I cannot thank you enough for showing up. I love when friends of the show come. I wish Joe Pollack would have shown up. On Sunday, I went to a what do you call it? A Colorado Rockies game. If I'm ever in a town that has a major league ballpark and that I have not been to, I will try to go in because I would like to go to as many major league parks as I can. That's a really nice park. I went there early, and the thing about Coors Field, where the Colorado Rockies play, before the first pitch, on the rooftop bar, it's $3 Coors Lights, all you can drink. No, it's not all you can drink. It's $3 Coors Lights until the first pitch. So I drink about 5 Coors Lights for $3 before the pitch started. I'm not a Coors Light fan, but for $3, I will power through it. So I stayed for about probably half that game. Just wanted to experience it, and it was a good time. All in all, I had a great time. We got back on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, I had another gig at a livestock festival of all places with Chad. He had high school girl fans. He had like young girls, like maybe 18, 17, probably more like 15 or 16, screaming in the front of the stage for this guy. So anyway, it was a good time, and I'm appreciative of the great Chad Bushnell for having me in his band. I can't thank him enough. I'm having the time of my life. So there you go. Little recap of why I didn't do a show last week. A long time to get to that, but all right, why don't we thank some people who donated to the show? In the background, I'm going to play, I just got this sent to me by Spaghetti Town Records. Let me see. Spaghetti Town. Let me go back to the inbox. Spaghetti from Spaghetti Town. Chicago dirty rock and rollers, Criminal Kids return with the first new music in 7 years. Punk with an equal mix of 70s New York punk and roll, California melodic skate punk, and a whole lot of Chicago swagger. Brand new. What's the name of the band again? I'm sorry. Criminal Kids. Okay, I'm going to play them in the background. It's more punk rock. Okay, let's open that. Let's start it off with the fourth song, Paradise. No, we'll go with this one. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, friends. As you know, there are no advertisers on this show. I got approached by Libsyn, the place that hosts my podcast, about accepting ads, pre-rolls. I said, no, thank you. I do value for value. I prefer it that way because I don't have to make my show brand safe. I don't have to worry about anybody saying, you played this song and it's not pod safe, or you said fuck, or you said chicks, and that could be misogynist. I don't have to worry about that because the only people I have to answer to you is you, friends. It's a value for value. So if you get any value out of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, like maybe J.S. Skulls when he handed me $200 cash, that's who I'm doing this show for, you friends. So thank you, J.S. Skulls, for the $200 cash Stick It to the Man donation. You saved the show this month. Thank you to the following people who sent me Venmo donations. Dan Garawan, $100. He also saved the show this month. Tim Shaw, $50. You saved the show. John Morgan, $25. Also saved the show. Brian Springer, $20. Greg Burfer, I'm still praying daily, $20. Moya Watson, back with a $15 Venmo. Thank you, Moya Watson. Rock Bottom Rob Giglio, $15. Ralph Miller, friend of the show and friend of mine, $12 Venmo for hearing his name on the show. Richard Fusey, the sheriff, $12. Stephen Bailey, $2. Thank you to everybody who donates on the Patreon. My bodyguard, Joe Pollack, $16.66. Dan Garawan, $15. Kurt Crawford, $12.77. Fred and Ginny Bunky, $10. Patrick Shanahan, $10. Cole Thornton, $10. Brian Springer, $8. John Scott Ryder, the great book, Tom Petty and Me, $8. He hooked me up with a guy who I'm going to be interviewing next week named Rappaport? Hold on. Paul Rappaport, who was he worked at Columbia. He was one of the big dudes at Columbia Records for over 30 years in the 70s. He instrumental in the careers of Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, Pink Floyd, The Stones, Elvis Costello, Journey, Judas Priest, Alice in Chains, many more. He wrote a book. I'm going to have him on the show, Paul Rappaport, so we'll get some inside dirt on the music business. That's going to happen next week. Thanks, John Scott, for the $8 Patreon. I'm stuttering. Patreon donation. Michael Street from this show, $7.50. And friend of mine. Dave Slusher, who jumped ship, but he forgot to pull his donations. He's donating $5.55. Friend of the show and friend of mine. Just my good friend, Chiaki Hinohara. Madaki Metal on Instagram, $5. Danny Borden, $5. Eric Klein, $5. James Shapiro, $5. Jamie Jefford, $5. Justin Lefkowitz, $5. Martin Clawley, $5. Nadi Itani, who I met in person, great guy, $5. Paul Smith, $5. Robert Harvey, $5. Steve T, Steve Trice, $5. Eric Stowell, $4. Mike Hellier, £4. Dan McBride, $3. Mark Mazzei, $3. Mike Dixon, $3. Adrian Bosch on Bosch Rock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I did not create, but I do approve. She's just got to answer 2 questions so we know you're not a paid protester to come in and cause trouble. $2 from Adrian Bosch on. Amy Bowen, $2. Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe, $142. 3 Legs, 4 Wheels, $1, and Arnie Stash, $1. Thank you, everybody who donates on the Patreon. Patreon.com/RNRGeek. Finally, the PayPal. You take a sip of this fine Howdy beer. I got real bad allergies since I came back. Dave Franco, $20. Stephen Laperriere, $20. Who's helping me revive my autobiography memoir. Maybe this thing will finally get done. I gave up like 5 years ago and just quit. Lack of confidence. He's trying to get my confidence back, so hopefully he's going to help me with that. $20, Stephen Laperriere. Thank you, Stephen. Blake Johnston, the rock and roll Brian Cranston, $20. James Venners, Richard Strom, $20. James Venners, $10. Jeff and Cheri, Thieleke, who I met Jeff in Chicago. Good guy. Jason Shepard, $10, friend of mine. Todd Cunningham, friend of mine and friend of the show, $10. BJ Lisko, $10, friend of mine and friend of the show. Ralph Mueller, $10. William Bealle, $10. Dave Jackson in the School of Podcasting, $10. Jayce Lesniewski, $5. Christopher Del Gramde, who's enjoying the sun and beach in Costa Rica right now, $5. Peter Spark, $5. Andrew Howe, $5. Vincent Crimi, $5. John Tennis, $5. Benjamin Mueller, $5. Greg Long, $5. Rachel Rosenberg, $5. John Ofenloch, $5. Chad Kiffmeyer, $2. Dave Alexander, $2. Adam Gerstein, $2. Adam Brochet, $2. Adam Croft, $2. Brian Gradage, $2. William Moffat, $2. Lassie Satvithagen, $2. Kai Matsuda, $2. Deborah Drivers Adventure Runner, $2. And finally, Philip Vermeulen, $2. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. Let this go for a few seconds longer while I finish off the first Howdy beer. All right, kill it. Okay. Woo. Where was I before I did this? Okay. This is Bosch Rock sent me a new Wolfsbane and Ricky Warwick. I think I'm going to I'm going back to San Francisco on Thursday. I'm joining the volunteer fire department up here. When I was in Denver, there was a fire right down the street, and it was about a mile away from here. And I've been meaning to help out. I want to be part of the community. And the guy down the street, Tim Rogers, is a super good guy. He runs the volunteer fire department in Douglas City where I live. So I'm joining the volunteer fire department on Wednesday. I'm going to go to the first meeting. I'm going to help fight fires up here. Why not? I'm retired, bass player. Maybe I'll die putting fires out. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to be back in San Francisco. I'm leaving on Thursday. I got this tattoo of my second grandkid tattooed on the other hand. Brooke Farinelli was her middle name. And they said they'd do free touch-up, so I'm going to go get it touched up because it's already fading off. It's already wearing off. You can't even see it anymore. So I'm going to go get that touched up on Thursday. Then I'm going to be back in San Francisco on Friday and Saturday, and I'm going to have the house to myself on Saturday night. So I may do a podcast on Saturday night from the house in San Francisco because I'm there by myself. Because they're going to the second grandkid's first birthday party they're having in Gilroy. So I'm going to do my best to do a podcast on Saturday, and I'm going to probably do a Ricky Warwick track by track for Adrian Boschak. Thank you for sending me that. This also came down. Somebody posted this on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. This is Bad Penny featuring Robin Zander. And I have not heard this, so let's hear it and see what we think of it. All right, we'll do a listening with Butler. Do I have the listening Butler with Butler clip? Let me find. Let's see if I can find it here. Listening with Butler. Okay, listening with Butler. Of course, I can't find it. Oh, fucking hell. All right, I can't find it. Of course I can. Oh, wait. Oh, your library. There you go. Okay. All right.
It's time for Listening with Butler.
A waiter.
That isn't a waiter, my dear. That's a butler.
Well, I can't yell, "Oh, Butler," can I? Maybe somebody's name is Butler.
You have a point. An idiotic one, but a point.
With Michael Butler from the Rock and Roll Geek Show.
Had that since about 2004, probably. So anyway, this is Bad Bomb Ticking, a band called Bad Penny featuring Robin Zander. So we'll listen to it. It's 3 minutes long. We'll give it we'll give it the Rock and Roll Geek score here.
Bad Penny, featuring Robin Zander in Big Bomb Ticking.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer. I appreciate that.
My girl says she's off to bed. She's floating off the ground without a sound.
All right, first thing I'm going to say is you got Robin Zander singing on your song. You're going to load his voice down with effects. You want his voice dry because he's a badass singer. So that's one.
The silence is so loud.
My girl says she's lost her head. She doesn't dig my crowd. The punks and clowns, it's all upside down. Come on, get it out like a big bomb ticking. Got my eyes on the prize and coming out swinging. Baby, let it go. It's a big show digging. Got my finger on the trigger. I'm coming out shooting. My girl said this vibe is dead. No use in hanging round. It's dead in town. What's up must come down. My girl said she's off her meds. It's hard to party down when you're underground. What's lost can't be found. Come on, get it out like a big bomb ticking. Got my eyes on the prize and coming out swinging. Baby, let it go. It's a big show digging. Got my finger on the trigger. I'm coming out shooting. Come on, get it out like a big bomb ticking. Got my eyes on the prize and coming out swinging. Baby, let it go. It's a big show digging. Got my finger on the trigger. I'm coming out shooting. Yeah! They're never gonna find me. Can you feel the flames inside me? Come on and let it go. Let it go. Got my eyes on the prize and coming out swinging. Baby, let it go. It's a big show digging. Got my finger on the trigger. I'm coming out shooting. Come on, get it out like a big bomb ticking. Got my eyes on the prize and coming out swinging. Baby, let it go. It's a big show digging. Got my finger on the trigger. I'm coming out shooting. I'm coming out shooting.
All right, there you go. What do I give it? It's not the greatest song. It's all right. It would probably be not as good if Robin Zander was singing on it. I'm going to give it a half. They did too many effects on his vocals. And the production, it's all right. Give it a half. All right, let's do one more listen. What's this one? This is a Facebook link here. Let's see, continue here. Let's see. What's this Facebook post? Somebody posted this on. Yes. Rest in peace, John Plain, posted by Sandy Hyde. The Boys, the guy from The Boys, John Plain. Boys were a highly underrated band from the late 70s UK punk era. The debut is fantastic. Let's listen to Brickfield Nights. This is not a Listening with Butler. But in the honor of John Plain. By the way, Casey came up with his son, Sonny, over the weekend up here. We went river rafting, and he said, Were you a fan of the boys? You know, John Plain just died, so that reminded me. Thank you, Sandy Hyde, for reminding me. Here is, I'm going to play the YouTube link. Do I have the boys? I probably do have boys on my podcast. I mean, on my iTunes here. Let me see. Boys. Yeah, of course I do. Come on. I got the whole collection. Brickfield Nights. Do I have Brickfield Nights? I have the collection. Brickfield Nights right here. So let's play Brickfield Nights from the boys in honor of, thank you, Sandy Hyde, for reminding me. And in honor of John Plain, here's the boys, Brickfield Nights. Brickfield Nights.
Remember those dark nights down Brickfield, never a blade inside. Brickfield nights. No youth club, no coffee bar. Saturday was the local cinema night. Brickfield nights. Every night we meet at the same place, same time. Late nights spent kicking round the football. We've carved our initials on the school wall. Remember those Brickfield nights. Remember those Brickfield vibes. It seems so long. Those days are gone. Dark nights down Brickfield. On summer nights, like a sauna, we always met by the corner light. Brickfield nights. Then the girls came with the long hair, high heels, and the makeup never quite right. Brickfield nights. Every night we meet at the same place, same time. Saturdays at the local dance hall. They carved our initials on the school wall. Remember those Brickfield nights. Remember those Brickfield vibes. It seems so long. Those days are gone. Dark nights down Brickfield. Remember those Brickfield nights. Remember those Brickfield nights. Remember those Brickfield nights. Remember those Brickfield nights.
There you go. Rest in peace, Honest John Plain.
Those Brickfield nights.
All right, back to the Listening with Butler. I'm going to do another Listening with Butler. Okay, kill it. Okay. This is from Blabbermouth. Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith has a side band called Close Enemies. Aerosmith bassist Tom Hamilton's new band Close Enemies releases a new single called Rain. The all-star band featuring Tom Hamilton, Tony Brock, drummer for the Babies, Peter Stroud from Sheryl Crow, Trace Foster, guitar tech for AC/DC, and Chasen Hampton has released a new single, Rain, through TLG Rock, distributed through Virgin Music. The band comments, Rain urges us to rise above adversity and spark change. Be bold, think big, and dream even bigger. It's a call to action amidst adversity to manifest a transformative shift, whatever the hell that means. Okay. Brand new, let's see, Schroster, Tom Hamilton and the guy from the Babies, and Tony Brock, great Tony Brock from the Babies. Here's a brand new song from them. We'll listen to this together too. I've never heard Close Enemy, so we'll. Bad Penny got a half. Let's see what Tom Hamilton and Tony Brock's band Close Enemies gets.
Lost your light? Have you lost your lane? Supposed to shine, feel more like a stain. It's on a cord, the people say.
All right, better production than Bad Penny. Shouldn't compare it to Bad Penny.
It's all a game.
More AOR, a little melodic rock.
Times have been hard. Yeah, you feel it too. Can't seem to get ahead, no matter what I do. Feel this world, feel like it's caving in. Something's gotta change. It went around, but love, where's the big dreamers? Where's the risk takers? And I'm tired of
So far, my thoughts are it's a decent song, catchy enough. Would I come back and listen to it again? Probably not. I am a fan of Tony Brock. Baby's one of my favorite bands, as you well know, friends. Aerosmith, obviously. Tom Hamilton, way underrated bass player. Break. A little left turn here. Oh yeah. Storm's coming through, man.
Knows when we're making moves. It's time to make it rain. Oh yeah. It's time to make it rain. It's time.
Oh, is it ever going to end? A week half. It's okay. All right, there you go. Geek and Kill at half. Close Enemies. If you want to hear it, they got a new album coming out called. Let's see. I don't even know what the hell the album's called. If you want it, look for it. Close Enemies. All right, friends. Not really my thing. A little too AOR oriented. Maybe it's. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell the album's called. The band's called Close Enemies. Okay, they had another song called Sweet Baby Jesus. There you go. Close Enemies. All right. One more song to clean our palate. Then we will get out of here. We'll play this song. Then I'll say some parting words and we'll get out of here. Brand new Tuck Smith. This is called. What is this called? Let me hit the YouTube link. Pull it up here. Come on. Pull it up on YouTube.
Touch and go, dodging bullets, going for broke. With shattered hearts and checkered past, taking chances like it's all we ever had. On no boulevard, breaking glass, talking trash, riding shotgun, bang my head against the glass. 2 street rats in a neon wasteland, taking everything off for grabs. We were on holy rollers, praying we get out alive. We were runaway sinners, just trying to make it right. Yeah, we drove it like we stole it, to leave it all behind. We were 2 street rats trapped in a troubled paradise. Troubled paradise. Thought I was heartless, thought I was numb. Till you said, baby, take a chance on love. I'm tired of running on faith and fumes. Give me something real to hold on to. On the boulevard, breaking glass, talking trash, taking everything off for grabs. We were on holy rollers, praying we get out alive. We were runaway sinners, just trying to make it right. Yeah, we drove it like we stole it, to leave it all behind. We were 2 street rats trapped in a troubled paradise. We were on holy rollers, praying we get out alive. We were runaway sinners, just trying to make it right. Yeah, we drove it like we stole it, to leave it all behind. We were 2 street rats trapped in a troubled paradise. Breaking glass, talking trash, riding shotgun in a troubled paradise. 2 street rats in a neon waste. 2 street rats trapped in a troubled paradise.
All right, there you go. That is a great tune. Brand new Tuck Smith and Restless Hearts, Troubled Paradise. That's good. That is a song, friends. All right, we're gonna close it out now. I'm gonna get out of here. I got a chicken going on the smoker right now, and we'll do some baked potatoes and have dinner and finish drinking this fine HOWDY beer, Western Pilsner, courtesy of J.S. Skulls. I wish I could tell you his job title, but it's a badass job. It's one of the most badass jobs I've ever heard about in my life. All right, just leave it at that. I'm gonna say too much. Thank you for listening, friends. You know how to reach me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. I can't promise you every show will be the best show in the world or the best podcast. There's a million podcasts out there. I appreciate you listening to this one. I can't promise you to be the best podcast ever, but I can promise you to be the most honest one and from my heart. And from my heart, friends, I thank you for listening. All right, that's enough of my sappiness. I want to shout it from the rooftops, friend. And if you're listening to this show, I want to shout that from the rooftops too, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Thank you for listening. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find the show at rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Excuse me, the X, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek, don't ask. And don't forget, if you're not on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, I don't know why you're not, because it's the best Facebook group out there. All right, here I'm going to play brand new Ricky Warwick, so maybe give a little teaser in case I decide to do a show on Saturday. He's got a new album called Blood Ties, and this song is called Crocodile Tears. I thank you so much again for listening, friends. Please keep the donations coming. It's a value for value, and without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. I'm on half of the second beer, and I'm starting to slur already. That's what happens when I drink in the daytime. All right, I'll talk to you very soon. Here's brand new Ricky Warwick. Crocodile Tears.
Any fool can start a fire, but not everyone.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.